What's up, everybody? Welcome to Bryce Talk Show episode. Now, I've been trying to think of ideas for things, but can't keep anything around for it. So, I probably won't just get into one subject as I have been doing for the past, quite a bit of shows, episodes I've done. So we're just gonna, do a lot of talking, and of course I'm gonna trim this stuff out. And this will be audio edited too, and that's another thing I'll get to on this episode. But I'll probably get into many things too. So I got a couple things to cover today. First off, now I've been thinking of ideas like for the talk shows, like editing, with Studio Recorder or Audacity, but mainly Studio Recorder, because on Studio Recorder, which is the software created by American Printing House for the Blind, they actually designed it pretty well. Yes, Audacity is quite accessible, but, there are because Studio Recorder is actually created by American Printing House. They make pretty good products that are targeted to us. Of course, anybody could still use it, but it's more set out better than any, of the other audio editors. For example, Audacity, I don't think that you can actually play what you're selecting. I don't mean like hitting the space bar and playing what you made, but on Studio Recorder, the best thing is having to go and let's say you're editing something, and then you go left or right arrow, or up or down arrow, and then it actually will tell you exactly where you are in the thing without having to try to figure it out. Because, obviously it'll stay in one position, and then you could select anything or cut anything out. Pretty simple. Of course, you could still use any command in Audacity, but with Studio Recorder, there's more benefits to it. And also mixing audio together, like at a certain point, that's a little different between Studio Recorder. I still have to figure out how to do that. I know how to add them, but I know how to add sounds to Audacity, like music or audio to one, but not like at a certain standpoint, like at a certain point in time, because otherwise it would probably just do it at the very top or the very bottom with I don't know, it's just, that part isn't that well thought out. So that is one reason why using Studio Recorder is great. So yeah, definitely if you like that, use Studio Recorder when you're doing that. And now the reason why I don't use Studio Recorder for other videos, because, when I'm making something like the talk show, even though it's made for fun, but I still like to use the Studio Recorder because, I have a lot, to say, and so I can just cut things out as I go, versus me just doing a video for whatever. And besides video editor and cutting things out, I don't think that'd be the best accessible thing. Well, besides selecting parts, on a video editor, I don't know if that's even as accessible as an audio editor like that. So, yeah, let's start talking. Okay, so I recently read an article here from TechCrunch. Now, I get stuff from them. They mention about Google Photos ending the unlimited free storage plan, or uploading unlimited photos, because even though they have 15 gigabytes when it comes to everything on Google, they have this whole thing, and they have the Google Photos, which you could pretty much upload as much thing as you want. But a lot of it would go against your quota now because they're starting to change it. Now, I don't know why. Because even if it's low quality, it would still count, because, I kind of done low quality just because. But now they're going to start counting, and they even said that sheets, drawings, slides, and Google Docs would even count. Why? They're small files. Well, depends on how much, if you add a lot of attachments, that is. Because if you don't just add text and you add a bunch of attachments, that might make it big, but for the most part, why all these things are small? Why do you need to make those count? Wasn't that why Google Docs and everything was good? Because it didn't count with anything of that stuff? And now you're making it count. So now you're doing this now. But for Google Photos, I have so much on my Google Photos, it's not even funny. I don't know why these people think it's going to just keep on messing things up. They're eventually screwing everything over, because they keep people like Google, mainly Susan Wojcicki, which I talked about. Well, even though she's more in the YouTube side, but they're kind of whoever works on them kind of acts the same way. They constantly have to ruin something. They constantly have to do something bad. They constantly have to do something terrible. Nothing's ever good, you know. Well, besides Premiere on YouTube and YouTube Studio, but that's it. Google, and they did this to Google Photos, and I found this on the thing starting June 2021. Now, I don't know why they want to do, well, at least you have a good long time before then, but still, it's kind of interesting what Google has done to their stuff. Now, they constantly don't, I mean, seriously. And first off, why does Google Photos have its own subscription? That doesn't make any sense, because people already subscribe to Google Drive. They don't need Google One. I mean, I don't get some of these people. Just put it on one thing. Jeez. If you want to make Google One, just cancel Google Drive subscription and add it and all other things. These people are just, retarded. And with these people, when they do this stuff, I don't know. They're just, I don't know. Just these people. I can't take them anymore. We can't take them nowhere. If you think they're crazy, because they are, and they take over stuff, they change things too constantly, and they just don't know what they're doing. And they don't know how these things affect other people too. I think that's one of the reasons they don't know what the heck they're doing. I've been using command prompt to make random things. So, when I made the random website and random flight and all these things on shortcuts, using numbers or random number actions, because some of those sites contain numbers and URLs. Well, except for random website. All websites come with at least numbers and letters. But for this thing, it's just numbers. Some are letters. But I was able to do that with command prompt. Only problem is, for example, the random website action or any programs, all the numbers are only 5 numbers, so they can't just be any number between 1 and whatever. It's always 5 numbers, so so I don't know how to change that. But I also did the random Vimeo. Now, if you guys know, if you visit Vimeo, obviously I'm YouTube, but I kind of explored. I don't have anything on Vimeo, but if you go to a Vimeo URL with the video, you can tell that Vimeo's URL besides the Vimeo.com / and then after that is just numbers. So that was pretty simple to make because they have a lot of numbers in the URL, probably 5 most likely. So that fit pretty good for the command prompt. So just for the shortcut, it's pretty simple like shortcuts is. The purpose of making the random website shortcut and the program on my computer, I made both. I might have to share both of them so you guys can see both. I know you've seen the shortcut one, but I know you haven't seen one from the computer. The purpose of random website is so that way you can explore the whole internet, and you can see what the internet is like, see different websites you haven't visited. If you're, I don't know, if you're visiting the internet and you don't know where else you want to visit, when you're searching the web, you're just kind of wondering. So you see this, and, most of the time it works, but it comes to one point where, if a site is down, a site doesn't exist, that also happens. So the key is you have to keep on running it until you find something, but you get there. It doesn't take long, but you get there. It's pretty neat. Most of them are number sites because it's a number web action and also in shortcuts, but some of them are letter-based, but a lot of numbers. So I thought, because the Windows command line has its own random number thing too, so I could create that. Basically, the purpose is just so you can explore the internet that way. Just run the whole thing and end up somewhere. Now, this is pretty cool because you can look around, see what's out there, and explore the deep web. So each of them, when you run the shortcut, or application if you're using the Windows. But if you're using iOS shortcuts, it's kind of the same. It just takes you to a website using Safari, or, well, if you're on Windows, a different browser. It basically will pull up any page. Anything that, some don't exist, some do exist. Some are domain sites because either they're parked or just... But you just have to keep going around and keep running it and see what you can get out of it. Same for Vimeo. I wanted to try random YouTube video, but I don't see how that's going to work. Unless there's a magic variable or trick I could do. But every YouTube URL is different. They contain numbers and letters in each video. So I don't know how that's going to work to make that. I just don't see, unless there's, I tried different variables. I don't know if they work. I don't think they work. I don't believe so. So I think that might not be able to work for a while. But it'd be cool because I could make a program called Random YouTube Video, which does the same thing, but plays YouTube videos, Pulls up any random YouTube video from youtube.com, and then, yeah. So if you want to visit any of these shortcuts and apps, I'll link them in the description. Except for the Windows command line programs, they're in Google Drive. The shortcuts are in RoutineHub, which I told you about. So I'm going to share these, and you can run that. I posted random website to Google Drive. I just have to post the others, Random Flight, Vimeo. Random Flight, what that does, it actually uses FlightAware. So FlightAware, you can track flights, see flight history from that number, see where it was from, get information about the flight, the plane, altitude, every flight information. Because at the end of their URL, it contains numbers, but it still does contain letters. For example, flightaware.com/live/flight, and then / the number, flight number, and then after the flight number, that's all I gotta type. So, and it mostly will pull it up from a lot of airliners, Southwest, you get it. Any Delta, anywhere, any airliner that it can pull up. So yeah, it works just like that. It's pretty awesome that you can do that. And I kind of tried, because I was kind of experimenting with numbers and URLs and website stuff, just to see what I can come up with, So, that's what I did. And when you do the programs, they run really cool, and they're really simple to make because they're coded easily. Well, for the Windows command line, and for shortcuts, they're pretty simple too. So yeah. So if you want to try, you can use the links and download them and try them out. And if you like them, that'll be great. And you can, if you want to tell me your experience on Google Drive, the comment box will be open in Google Drive. So if you want to share your experience with those files, or if on RoutineHub, you can leave feedback on those shortcuts. So do that, or anything like that. Personally, I think shortcuts is pretty neat. I've talked about that a few times. Because shortcuts is really neat, and it's the way it's set up. And so is the Windows command line, So, I made that. Yeah. Now, for those of you I've been making YouTube analytics videos where I show data from the YouTube Studio analytics on YouTube. And I thought, these people might want to see how my analytics have been doing. So, I'll give them my analytics. And so, what I do is screen record it, so that way we can go over the analytics and data with I can share them with you guys and just go through them. So with this data, I go through for those of you who haven't seen my analytics videos, I go through channel information such as search terms, the search terms that you guys search up and find me on there somehow, and traffic, where they come from, externally or from the internet or from YouTube, and also the geography data, like countries where people are viewing from. That is what is kind of neat, actually, because you can kind of see about that. So you can kind of get at the geography data and kind of view that. And also playlists that people are playing my videos on, and the videos that suggest my content. And we go through all that those are the things we go through on YouTube Studio. And we kind of go through it and see what we got. And I think that'll be really good to go to. So, now I make this because I think that will be really good, because people can actually see, oh yeah, I think I know where this is coming from. The YouTube analytics is coming from there, that, this, that. And it has all this stuff on it, and that might be cool to look for. And also, it also shows what the age of the channel, how the age groups that people view my channel, and there are a lot, and also gender, which probably doesn't make too much of a difference, unless you're curious. But definitely a good thing to see how everything is doing. Good to look forward to it, and just find what you want. Subscribe to the Apple Music subscription, because I got sick and tired of using I looked at other music services like Pandora, Amazon Music. They're good at some point. Pandora's pretty. I've been using it. I've used it forever, but Amazon Music really sucks for those who don't use the unlimited plan, which I don't get. Why they can't just include it in one subscription, or just have a trial of it. Because here's the thing, with Amazon Music, you have this stupid thing where all the songs aren't on there, and most of them have it used to be where if they had an Echo device, you'd preview it. Now they just make a station with whatever song or artist it is. So you have all this stuff, and it's like, okay, why? And not to mention that things constantly be on there or they're off. And it's just a whole mess for those who don't have it. And besides, it's a 30-day trial. 3-month trials for Apple Music, which obviously it has everything. And you don't have all that stupid stuff like Amazon does. And, it's just shady now. And I thought, I kind of get, nobody wants to use this stuff anymore. And a lot of the things I try to look for either on the unlimited plan, which I think they just should have just made their own subscription without, having to limit songs. I think they just should have just done that instead of doing that, because that's not even a good way to do that instead. And they just mess it all up, and they think, so they make their subscription. That's what they should have done. They just, instead of using the unlimited, they could have just made Amazon Music as a subscription instead of actually using the unlimited thing. Because instead of having people using it free and they barely get anything out of it, it's kind of shady. And with how many things you can really play, I'm sure there's quite a bit depending on who you're playing, but when you have some artists who are very limited on what you can play, or genres, but still, it's kind of not a good thing to do. So at the end of last year, I started subscribing. I actually did the trial. I subscribed this year, but I thought, I'm doing the Apple Music plan. I did, because I ain't messing with the stupid thing. They obviously have good, selection and everything, and it's made for us Apple devices, and Some argue that other things are better, but if you think about it, it's all for your phone. I mean, it's all built in there. You know, you could still download things like you purchased it on iTunes. Only thing is when you're downloading it if you're downloading something to Apple Music, you still get everything. You know, you get offline. You can still play it offline. Use it for your alarm clock if you have an alarm set. Only thing is, when you download things on Apple Music instead of using your iTunes, all these are DRM protected for piracy. People who worry about that. So, you know, how many of you make videos and you add music through it? Obviously, you can't do that because, you know, it's protected. But also, it could be a bad thing because if you cancel the subscription, you wouldn't be able to listen to what you downloaded. See, then you'd have to purchase it, you know, off iTunes if you did cancel. So, that's the thing for some people. Like, if they did cancel, they'd have to buy everything because but what I don't understand is why can't people play using DJ apps? Like, you know, those things where you can play auto mixing and DJ. You know, there's some apps out there that let their virtual DJ things, like DJ2 or anything else, or Serato Pyro from Serato, or any of these. I don't understand why they can't play under DRM, because it ain't like anybody else is listening to it. You're still the one listening to it. You're not stealing anything. It's all still on your device. Yes, I know it's CRM protected, but still you should be able to play on DJ apps, though. I don't get that either. So, I had to, you know, because obviously I wasn't subscribed to it at all, so I had to kind of get into why, you know, all this stuff. But still, if you think about it, it's really simple and pretty good to use. And although I had to recreate my playlists when I subscribed because my playlists were deleted, so I had to remake everything and go from scratch. Which at least I knew what I was gonna make my playlists with, and I had to make it more playlists, and I had to keep making more of them, because obviously when I had to make it, some idiot thought when they subscribed that they would, you know, start deleting the playlists so you could make them Apple Music, but they should already just go through there. You know, why would you have to take everything off there, especially if you worked a lot on the playlist, though? That's what, you know, that's what I don't understand. I had to remake most of my playlists that I had before I had Apple Music, because they literally took all the playlists that I had, and they messed it up. They changed everything, and I had to yeah, I don't know if I like that, because I had to keep on trying to get it. Had to for example, my techno dance music or electronic techno playlist that I had before then, I had to remake that and put everything, especially what I downloaded on Apple Music too, but I had to remake the ones that I purchased from iTunes, add that, as well as the one I downloaded from Apple Music, so I had to do all that. I didn't understand why they couldn't just transition everything to there, unless it was so hard to do that. They just, you know, removed every playlist that you had when you started. I don't understand that point for whatever reason. Just dumb idea, but they did. And that's what they started to do, so they removed everything and they did it all. Now, since I had Apple Music, I thought it was really good, actually. You know, Apple makes playlists for you. Most of them are updated Monday and Tuesday. You get up playlist in the favorites mix, which is updated on Tuesdays. Mondays is the get up mix, and Tuesdays the my favorites mix. So they do that mostly every day. So, and I make my own playlists too, like my my Christmas playlist for when Christmas is coming. I made a playlist for the 2000s, because I kind of started like in the 2000s. Of course, I listen to Sirius XM Pop 2K a lot and other things that are related to the 2000s. And I do the 90s too, because 90s are the 2000s. Of course, all the other old ages of 70s, 60s, and 80s are good, but where it's really at is the 90s and 2000s was the 70s and 80s. Well, just like when they say 60 is your 40, I don't know. They try to make you feel young when they say 60 or 40. So, in the 2000s, it had a really good, it's a new change into it. All the country, everybody was good. They had a lot of good people there, and they make it interesting. 2000s, everybody makes music interesting. No matter what genre it is. I mean, of course you have your different tastes, but I think, now it's kind of up crazy, especially that pop and rap had the best 2000s things, and a lot of music genres did. I liked one from the pop and rap genre. They had really good stuff back then, and we had a good acoustic. I did a little bit of that when I kind of relax. You play acoustic. They had a lot of good of those. Rock, people like Fall Out Boy, and a lot of good country, like I said. People like Faith Hill, Tim McGraw, Toby Keith, and Dixie Chicks. They call them the Chicks now. And, well, anybody you could think of. People like Sugarland, which I still have yet to add that. And yes, I do have some trance too, like old techno trance. Some of them are in there. But yeah, definitely the 2000s had, really, really good stuff like that. Like, I have like many from like pop and R&B, rock, maybe some Christian, but because they had some really good Christian in the 2000s. For all your Christian guys, the 2000s had a pretty good stuff, as well as trance, definitely the trance for any partiers, and songs like Pimpin' All Over the World.
Oh yeah. The fancy cars, the women and the caviar.
And also from Ludacris and Who Dat from E40 and T-Pain and all these guys. And of course Flo Rida, all those guys. So yeah, it was really, really cool. And I make them all, I kind of add them together. And I also add some TV shows and like Toy Story. I make Toy Story and I did add from the let me see. Yeah, I definitely did that. The Sopranos. I woke up this morning. I got for those because yeah, that was a good one. That was a good hit back then, even though we were young. But for others, it was a really good hit. It's a TV show, and also from Trolls. I have some from Trolls. Curious George, Jack Johnson. We have one of his best hits from the Curious George movie. And we just have a wide collection of things that the great first and second decade gave us. So definitely look into that. And even so good that I even have it on my FM transmitter. When I'm using my FM transmitter, that's something like I would play on my FM transmitter. And it was funny. So yeah, so if look in different kinds of things, and it'd be really good for you. Because anybody likes to go back like that is really good. We also have, the White Stripes, friggin' All of them people. I mean, you name it, we have a good... No, you mean... When I search 2000s or 2000, there's a lot of good... There's pretty good playlists when it comes to that. People share their own playlists, and people make their own playlists of the 2000s because they think it's really good too, but like everybody else does. Yeah. So... Yeah, so country has a lot of stuff. We have Gretchen Wilson, we have Faith Hill, we have Tim McGraw, we have, I recently just added Kenny Chesney on there. We got, I got a heck load of everybody, and, so I add them all up, and then I put them on this little whole thing, and, I try to make my own collection of things that were, good that I thought from most of them were. So, I put them all together, and then we have a good playlist, so. And I also did the same for, my electronic dance music, and I have some techno on my 2000s, but mainly everybody else. For example, the Skrillex and the, and DJ Sammy, and, DJ Etsy from, that was a good one. And I also have some, Latin stuff from, like, Latino, and, for your Latino guys, we have some from Latino, and, well, not much Latino, but a lot of English guys and other guys, and people like Shaggy. I wouldn't say all that. I mean, I would say like cruise type songs, like from people like Shaggy, Fallout Boy, not Fallout Boy. What the heck? Soca Boys, Rupee. I like to say Rupee like that, because people like to say like. Well, I don't know if people say like that, but I just think because it's rolling your R's, so we gotta find some more of the good stuff for it. So, and if you want to check that out, I'll have that down on our link too, so that way you can kind of look into it. It's really good. A lot to look forward to on it. A lot of good hits on it. And a lot of these were overplayed on the radio so many times, which it was really good. And we also have people like Black Eyed Peas. We got everybody. So if you like looking at that stuff, I'll have that. So go in the description and click on that and listen away. And we also have some games like from Talking Angela, musicals from Talking Angela and Talking franchises, the Talking Tom and Talking Angela franchise, because they have a lot of good stuff back then, the Talking Tom and Angela franchises. Because I'm sure if you guys play Talking Tom and Angela, you guys know their musicals, so. Now let's get off there. Now, when we talk about Talking Tom and Angela, I basically, everybody starts out talking Tom, and then they find other talking stuff. I thought it was cool when I found Talking Angela, because they have this little thing, make her drink things, potions. They used to have a thing where you could talk to her. You could actually, for those of you who downloaded it no later than 2016, well, that's when they started phasing it out. They had a thing where you could talk to Angela. You have the little keyboard, you could, text, type anything, and just have it talk to you. So that's what, it was kind of different from all the others, and it was kind of interesting to look at. Now, yeah, not so much fun. It's just like any other talking game, well, except you have drink potions, but that's nothing. But, I think there's, because people, they have rumors, they think that creepy people are on there, which they don't know what the heck they're talking about. They think people are in their house. People just, leave bad reviews because, people are just stupid. So they leave bad reviews, and then they ruin other things for other people, just in the way of scare tactics. So, now, yeah, but we definitely have stuff from Angela and Tom, because, there was a big, these games were pretty big on the, when they started releasing out first, second decade, when the 2010s, from 2010s, the games started getting popular, people playing the games, Talking Tom. We had of course we had people like Ben and Santa, and the Talking Tom and Ben news, which, was another thing. People, when you get to, see them. But, with the Talking Angela, of course you still had the thing where you go, they repeat what you say, but you had a lot more than just that. There was the chat, you just text and type, and then, just ask you things and just talk like a normal thing. And when she talks to you, it's like a little robot AI talking to you, like a little, I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. So, and if you wanna look at that, you can watch old videos from Angela. I'm sure there's still some out there. So yeah, that was one thing. But I have some other ideas for the playlist that I might. Right now we're at 12 hours and 8 minutes when it comes to playlist time. So, and it'll probably expand before I post this video, so it's pretty neat, and, yeah. So, yeah, definitely check out the 2000s playlist, because that's where everything comes in. And we also have people like Sean Paul, who also is, good. And Pitbull, yeah. And, so yeah, definitely check out that. And then try playing something. And, so, I have my transmitter. And I play a lot of those things. I have my, I told you the stories about my transmitter. Sometimes it goes a mile from my house, sometimes less than that. Sometimes I can get it, from a block from here. Well, unless you're talking about my wireless transmitter. But I could have so many people, coming close to our house because we're playing all the 2000s. And everybody, likes the 2000s. And so soon we'll probably have so many people driving by the neighborhood trying to listen in. Well, even though nobody knows when I'm on, but eventually they'll see. But when they go in there, they'll be like, so. I tell you, Wednesday I had my iPad on, all night. I had my 12-hour playlist. I had it playing the 2000s playlist, and then after that it was because what Apple Music does now is it auto plays something else after the playlist is over. So I had that running for quite a bit, till about Thursday or Friday today. Well, whenever you're watching the video. So yeah, cause I could have that place rocking with stuff like that. Yeah, that's definitely cool, I think. And so try that. Download any of these on your library. And if you have a transmitter, you can spread the nostalgia by playing it on the radio, like I've been doing. And, of course, there are stations around, of course, the states that, do nostalgic songs. But, I take it a little further and, it depends on where you live. I take it a little further and, do a little more. So, yeah. Now, I can't believe I got my drone behind the refrigerator. Yeah, I flew my drone behind the refrigerator. It was kind of hard to see because it was going too fast. So for those who couldn't see it, didn't know where it was going. Well, we didn't know till about after we stopped the video. About 5-10 minutes, 10 minutes later, we realized it was in the refrigerator. We had no idea it was in there. So, I didn't even think it was going to be, because it went all the way over behind the refrigerator. Grandma was behind the kitchen cabinet. I was just laughing like, what? I was laughing like it was the funniest thing. Because, sometimes with stuff like that, you want to laugh. Even though it'd probably be hard to get out of there, but it's funny to laugh. And you can hear it crashing and everything. Well, I personally don't want to break it, but if I fly it around, it's, something like that, you have nothing to do but laugh. Because you know it's funny. So what do? You laugh. You laugh. That's all you do. I sure laughed. I couldn't believe how awesome this weather was down here up here in Ohio. Because about around Columbus and everywhere else we've been, we've had like 60 degrees, 70 degrees, almost 80. Unusual for November, but definitely we'd take it. Kind of like doing that better than going, you'd be like down in Florida. Be like we down in Florida, Man, I like going down there. I'd go down any, chance I get. I would go down there. Because, isn't it obvious it's really good, and I'm doing everything, I made my slideshow for Florida when I went on the March 22nd and April 5th and came back. For somehow, the video was blocked by most companies. I don't know if it was when I used Good Time from Owl City and Carly Rae Jepsen, or the Hamster Dance song from The Hamster, which is also in my 2000s playlist, or It Feels So Good by Sonic. So I don't know if it was either one of those or to look at the claim, but the thing is blocked. I don't know where exactly. I have to still look it around. But it explained why nobody was viewing it. I found out, I'm like, oh boy, that sucks. Because I know I worked on it for quite a while to figure out which one I want to go, what songs I want to put on there, and everything. So it was a mess. And I thought, well, why is this happening? I don't know what the deal is. So I thought this might be crazy because it's claiming me. It's claiming me because I used something that was copyrighted. So, I'll find something to replace it with, hopefully. Because that video is pretty good. Felt like I could have added some more pictures because I know Grandma saw that there was some that she saw missing, but that's alright. I noticed that I didn't do my Christmas vlog last year because I didn't end up doing my Christmas vlog. I don't know what the deal was. I don't know if I didn't, because I was still trying to get over the new Splice update and how I would use it, because Splice was really messed up when Bending Spoons took over. And iMovie still had flaws. But, I kind of knew Splice now, so I think I might be better off doing it this year if we do. Most likely I would probably upload last year's Christmas, because probably won't be a lot going on. Well, besides me going to Florida on the 25th, which I'll get Christmas trip from Florida video I might work on. But if nothing interesting, I might have to just place back my videos from last year and upload them, which I think I should do, even if the this year's Christmas is interesting, but because well, and also I was in Florida when I was working on the Outback Bowl with our with our band, and there's a lot of things. So I was kind of working on, and there was a lot of things that I planned on getting on there, but I just I planned on doing slideshows. I planned on everything. I just didn't slacked off on them. I know, I'm terrible about it, but I don't know. Didn't have any ideas, but nothing going on, but yeah. But last Christmas vlog was pretty cool. I showed me driving my remote control car, crashing into things, talking to my cousins, doing more gifts. Probably won't happen a lot this year, but I might upload last year's vlog. Of course, we'll still have Christmas Eve and open gifts and everything, and Christmas Day, but won't be much interesting for vlogs, maybe. But I think uploading last year's vlogs will be really good. I'll have to find them. They're saved in Google Photos, which Google plans to change their storage with, because they're such freaks that they had to change it. So anyway. So, yeah, that might be a possibility of a upload of an old vlog that I was going to make that was unfinished. If you'd be interested in seeing that. So, that's a possibility, because I was thinking about, because of how different this year might be, because how shady 2020 is, and I thought, since we'll probably have a lot of stuff going on around Christmas, besides my Florida trip on Christmas Day when I go, and I might do some of that, and plus upload old what I was gonna upload last year, but I didn't, so possibility that I might work on that. So, alright, let's see. So that might be a good idea to upload something like that.
6:07 p.m. Friday. Pause record.
Wow.
54 1 recording.
So if you want to see it, you could watch the vlogs. I think it'd be really cool to show. But hopefully we can get the vlogs, because I have to see how many pictures and stuff we got, because we got a ton of things. If you liked any of the episode, make sure to subscribe, like, and share this video around. And click the links in the description that were given if you were interested in anything. And yeah. And this is another second episode that was audio edited. And I kind of like that idea, because talk show episodes, when it's something like that, and it's a long one, you kind of want to edit stuff, because make it cool. So I'll definitely be working on the edits. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. And stay tuned for more videos that come out in the future. And I will see you guys later. Until then, peace out. And I'll see you guys sometime in the near future. Or any day.